Mr. Secretary, Deborah and Mark Tice, ladies and gentlemen, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights states that every person has the right to freedom of opinion and of expression, regardless of their nationality or identity. In our own Constitution, as you all well know, the First Amendment states that Congress shall make no law abridging the freedom of speech or of the press. Access to important independent information is critical, and journalists play a key role in this respect. According to the Committee for Press Freedom, it's been an especially bleak year for defenders of press freedom. The committee reports in a 2021 prison census found that the number of reporters jailed for their work hit a new global record of 293 worldwide. So it is particularly timely and relevant that we are presenting the James A. Baker III Prize for Excellence in Leadership to Austin Tice. This will be the 8th presentation of the Baker Prize. Recipients are awarded the Baker Medal, which is custom designed and produced by the historic Monnaie de Paris, the National Mint of France. It's now my pleasure to introduce a video done by Georgetown University. Austin is an alumnus of Georgetown University. And by the way, I just received an email from the president of Georgetown University, Jack DeJoy, saying how pleased and honored he was that the Baker Institute was honoring Austin Tice this evening.
The oldest of 7 siblings growing up outside of Houston, Texas, Austin Tice was always a larger-than-life role model. A passionate Model UN delegate and Eagle Scout, his stated ambition was to be a foreign correspondent for NPR. This hunger to engage with the world led him to pay his own way to SFS in 1999. Fueled by idealism, hard work, and talent, Austin enlisted in the U.S. Marine Corps after 1 semester at Georgetown Law. Between deployments, Austin continued at law school. The growing conflict in Syria galvanized his desire to make a difference. So he took photography classes and returned to the Middle East as a freelance writer and photographer in the summer of 2012. Austin filed reports for the Washington Post, the BBC, McClatchy, Al Jazeera, and other outlets from the earliest moments and most intense sites in the Syrian conflict. On August 14th, 2012, Austin was leaving Syria to go to Lebanon when he was detained at a checkpoint near Damascus. A worldwide movement calling for his release has grown to include the Washington Post and the New York Times editorial boards, as well as thousands of individuals around the globe. Less than a month after his capture, Syrian demonstrators eloquently testified to Austin's impact, holding aloft posters bearing his picture and calling for his release. "Freedom for Austin Tice," one stated in Arabic, who lighted Syria with his lens.
It is now my privilege to introduce the Honorary Chair of Rice University's Baker Institute for Public Policy, the former Secretary of State, Secretary of Treasury, White House Chief of Staff, and one of our country's most distinguished public servants, James A. Baker III, who will come up with the Tices, and Secretary Baker will confer the Baker Medal to Deborah and Mark Tice, the parents of Austin Tice.
Thank you, Mr. Ambassador, for a very generous introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. This is really a poignant moment, I think. But for just a minute, I want to say something about the person that introduced me, because he's leaving us. So I want to thank you, Ed, for the very effective manner in which you have captained the Baker Institute since becoming its founding director in 1994. You have turned what was a really modest proposal with big aspirations into what is now ranked as the very best university-affiliated think tank in the world. Of course, a lot of the credit has got to go to your right arm there, whose charm and strategic planning and hard work have been critical components of one of the very best husband-wife teams ever. So thank you both for what you've done. The two of you are heading to the next chapter in your lives, which leaves us with big shoes to fill here at the Institute. But I am confident that the solid foundation you've established here will help the next director continue your successes for years to come. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to present the Baker Institute Prize for Leadership for the year 2022 to Austin Tice, my fellow Marine, whose brave pursuit of the truth is an enduring story of one American's honor and integrity. Austin's decision to pursue freelance journalism in Syria was a daunting task in 2012. That war-torn nation ranks among the very worst of 180 countries for press freedoms, according to the World Freedom Index. Still, this Marine Corps infantry officer, who served tours of duty in both Afghanistan and Iraq, fearlessly reported on the daily lives of Syrians and on the ongoing conflict, filing reports in the Washington Post and in other major media outlets. Then he was captured. Less than a month later, as we've just seen in the video, Syrian demonstrators eloquently testified to Austin's important role in truth-telling about their country, holding aloft posters bearing his picture and calling for his release. Freedom for Austin Tice, one stated in Arabic, who lighted Syria with his lens, as we've just heard. Now, his parents have not seen their son in almost 10 years, but they have never given up hope that he will return, and they've been tireless in pursuit of his release. His mother spent 83 days in Damascus searching for information about him. That's almost more time than I spent with Hafiz Assad, and I made 9 trips to Damascus. So I know a little bit about Damascus. Finally, a highly placed Syrian government official sent Deborah this message: I will not meet with the mother. Send a United States government official of appropriate title. American officials believe that Mr. Tice is still alive, though no one knows for sure who is holding him or why. He may be, in fact, living in hellish conditions and circumstances in Syria. But his story, I think, is a vivid reminder that the First Amendment right to a free press is one of the most critical components of our democracy. Without it, we might face the same oppression that confronts Syrians and others in nations without a free press. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it is with a heavy heart, but with great admiration, that I ask Austin's parents, Mark and Deborah Tice, to accept this award in Austin's name. Mark and Deborah, I respect your son's goal of educating the world about the dreadful costs of war, and I equally respect your determination to bring him home alive. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
All right, I'm delighted. I'm delighted to present this award on behalf of Austin to the two of you, but I don't want to drop it. That's why I was telling Ed to come up. Let's get here where we can get a picture. Ed, come on over here on the side. You know who designed this medal?
She's sitting there. She's sitting right there.
Francois Dirigian.
Francois, you're an artist.
Secretary Baker, thank you for all your kind words, for everything that you've done to support us, for the Baker Institute's interest in giving Austin this award. It's amazing. Ambassador Georgetown, thank you for your steadfast support. We very much appreciate it. It's a blessing to us in many ways. It's an honor to receive the Baker Prize for Excellence in Leadership on Austin's behalf. We also want to thank not only the Institute, but Rice University and all of you that have gathered here to help us honor Austin tonight. So thank you for being here. Of course, we wish Austin could be here to receive it himself. He'll be astonished and elated to learn that one of the preeminent diplomats and leaders of our time selected him to be honored in this way. As the eldest son, Austin is proud to be the leader of his 6 siblings. He took the same pride and care in mentoring the young scouts as he made his way on to the rank of Eagle. Bill? From elementary school to law school, he's been an encourager to his fellow students. And whether as a Model UN delegate, he represented Libya, as I recall.
That's right.
That's right. In high school, or a cub reporter at the University of Houston, Austin sought to understand the world and serve his community. His ability to lead and desire to serve continued to grow at Georgetown School of Foreign Service, as evidenced by his choice to interrupt his time at Georgetown Law to serve his country as a commissioned officer in the United States Marine Corps. So it was not a terribly big surprise when Austin acted while others were struggling to comprehend the conflict in Syria. The images he captured and the stories he wrote gave the world a clearer understanding of the impact of the conflict on the people of Syria and earned him several significant awards. We are blessed to be the parents of such an extraordinary man. And we thank all of you again, especially Secretary Baker, Ambassador, for this honor. Thank you. Deborah?
I always want to have the last word.
And she gets it too.
Receiving this recognition on behalf of Austin is a bittersweet honor for us. I will do my best to deliver this message from Austin's heart. Secretary Baker, thank you for choosing Austin. You are well known and esteemed as a leader. It takes one to know one. So for you to recognize Austin as a leader is an especially high honor. particularly since he was only 31 years old when he was detained. We believe he has many more years to hone and share his leadership. When Austin finally holds this medal in his hand, he will no doubt be inspired to follow in your footsteps. May it be soon. Ambassador Georgetown, thank you for your steadfast support since the first time we reached out to you over 9 years ago. Your wise counsel, delivered in the most direct and confident manner, has been a much-needed signpost on this arduous journey. The warm friendship you and Francois have offered us is a balm to our weary soul. Thank you. Thank you both for your kindness. Many thanks to every one of you here for Austin this evening. Your presence is hugely uplifting to our family. There are a few people here tonight that I would like to call out for Austin. Congressman Al Green. Congressman Green, you are like family to us now. Thank you for your unwavering, steadfast support. Thank you for your ever-ready yes when we reach out for your help. You are not only our favorite congressman, you are a rare gem. Thank you. David Lesh. David, your knowledge of the Middle East, and especially Syria, and most importantly, Damascus, has been invaluable to us. Your insight and direction has been crucial to our efforts for Austin. Your students at Trinity University should frequently be reminded of how fortunate they are to be in your class. We have certainly been blessed to be your students. Thank you. Bill Wallace, Austin's favorite Scoutmaster, who awarded Austin his Eagle Scout badge. Bill always expected the best from Austin. When Austin fell short, it did happen, he encouraged Austin to make amends and do better next time. Bill's wife, Pam, has been steadfast in advocating for Austin and holding him up in prayer. Thank you, Bill and Pam, for your unwavering faith in Austin's return. May it be soon. David Liebenguth, known by his fellow Marines as Goose. David, will you please stand? So Goose was Austin's staff sergeant on Austin's first deployment. When Austin first mentioned Goose to me, he said, "Mom, I love this guy. He is the best Marine I have met so far. From day one, he has supported me as commanding officer while realizing I have no military experience. In my blind pride, I really made an ass of myself. So he asked me again if I want to really know how to earn deep respect from my men. Mom, he has taught me the difference between being their boss and being their leader. This may be one of the most valuable lessons I ever learned. David, Austin is deeply grateful for you. You are no small part in bringing us all together this evening. Thank you, and thank you for your service to our country." On behalf of Austin, we appreciate everyone here this evening. We ask for your continued support and prayers as we continue to work for Austin's secure release and safe return. God bless you all. Thank you.